There are faster ways to cross a country. There are certainly cheaper ones, especially when that country is Canada. But there are very few ways that would truly allow you to feel its utter scale. This morning, we begin the transcontinental crossing of Canada, not by air, not by car, but by rail. We spent the night at the Union Hotel, chosen less for its indulgence, but more for its proximity. When one travels by train, timing and geography matter. As we make our way to the Union Station, we pass by the Fairmont Royal York Hotel. It stands opposite Union Station with quite an authority, not demanding attention, but assuming it. Opened in 1929 by the Canadian Pacific Railway, the Royal York was once the largest hotel in the British Empire. It was designed not merely to accommodate travelers, but to reassure them that long journeys could still be undertaken with comfort, order, and certain elegance. There is something quite fitting about beginning a transcontinental rail journey standing right here. The hotel and the station were conceived as a single ecosystem. Railways bringing the country together, an establishment like these offering rest to those in motion. Union Station itself opened in 1927, at a time when the railway was not simply transport, but essential to nation building. This was intended to be a civic monument, a statement of confidence in permanence, coordination, and scale. The name Union referred to cooperation, as several competing railway companies agreed to share a single terminal. Today, Via Rail remains the only operator offering a transcontinental passenger service in Canada. Yet, Union Station continues to function as a true hub, bringing together rail, regional trains, airport connections, and the city itself. For check-in, we head to Via Rail's business lounge. Now, I wasn't permitted to film the check-in process, but we quickly checked in and had our meal reservations confirmed for the first seating on board. The lounge itself is calm and well organized. There are light snacks available, tea, coffee, juices, simple but definitely welcome. The entire lounge is complemented by some genuinely beautiful artwork. There are dedicated business sections set aside for travelers who want to get some work done while on the move. There's also a separate section reserved exclusively for prestige class passengers. At around 9:10, we finally make our way down the main hall and the concourse towards the train. This is one of those moments that always feels significant when waiting finally gives way to motion. Hello. We get our first views of the Canadian, Via Rail's flagship service from Toronto to Vancouver. Hello.
Hello, 10F. So you're going to turn to the right, look for the letter F on the wall, go ahead in your room, get comfortable, tease your porter, she'll be around shortly, she'll tell you how it works, okay?
As we board our train and make our way to our accommodations, we pass by the berths, which are currently in their daytime configuration. Our sleeper cabin, 10F, is on the larger side, which gives us a bit more space for luggage. Not that we had much to begin with, but on a journey like this, even small comforts matter. Our cabin comes fully equipped with a sink, mirror, plug sockets, and a folding table. We have dedicated space to hang our winter coats, above which is a small space to store any articles you would like to tuck away. This is the cabin setup during the daytime. 2 facing seats and a large window framing the passing scenery. There's also space above the sink area where we found our shower kits and toiletries. This cabin also features its own toilet. It's small but perfectly functional, and having it inside the room is a real advantage, especially overnight. The entire cabin is quite compact, but I would say very well designed. Everything has its place, nothing feels unnecessary. As we make our way out to the Skyline car, we ask our porter to lower the bottom bunk. This transforms the cabin into a much more relaxed space during the daytime. Somewhere where you can sit, stretch out, or lie down if you want to. We make our way upstairs to the dome car to get perfect views of the train departing Union Station. No sooner do we settle down in the dome car, the train departs bang on time. As the train leaves the station, the imposing skyline of Toronto comes into view. You truly get a sense of appreciation on how magnificent these buildings are. As part of our welcome, we are offered either champagne or juice. It's a simple gesture, but a really nice way to mark the beginning of our multi-day journey.
So welcome aboard, everyone. My name's Tim. I'm looking after this 85 feet of real estate until tomorrow night. I'll be home, and then you get someone new replacing me. I don't know who that is yet, and I'll find out for you though and tell you what to expect. Everybody, yeah, it's full up here right now, yeah. So, a little bit about the car. You found the dome. You're welcome to that dome back there as well, anytime after 11 o'clock today. That's the lounge area down here. Dome area's up here. In the back, I have an activity area as well, which is 6 tables. Please don't confuse that as the dining car. You'll be very disappointed in my food. The dining car is another like 60 feet back. But downstairs, I've got a whiteboard, a list of things going on today. There's also kind of like a scavenger hunt, but I don't have you running around the train. It's things you're going to see out the window today, and you can feel free to check them off. I'm not checking them off. I know where they are. There's coffee, fruit, cookies, help yourself to whatever you want. All I ask is that there's 80 people that just got on board. Just clean up after yourself because someone else is coming to your spot. For anyone that's looking with their devices and they love being in contact with grandparents, kids, aunts, uncles, your service will be phenomenal. Majority of today. Tell to leave Capreol tonight. Once we leave Capreol, pretty much non-existent until tomorrow. So say your goodbyes before bedtime. So the bottom of this car here, right before you walk into the 10, there's a little door on this side. That is a public washroom. It looks like a closet. I promise you, there's a toilet in there. Now, with that being said, if you're doing anything that might involve maybe sitting down and wanting to read a novel, maybe go back to your room for that, because anything you do in that space is automatically vented up to here, and we're going to know what's going on, and we're going to see you come out of there. If you don't have any shame, then don't worry about it. But it's very, very hard to hear up here. But our manager, and I'm sure your porter told you, only anything that the toilet paper in the cars and or toilets, please. It used to just drain right onto the tracks when these cars were first built, but Environment Canada said no more of that. So now it's contained on board, but it goes through pipes about this big. And when it's really, really cold, the pipe gets smaller. So we have a lot of people that use what's called flushable wipes that really aren't. Throw those in your garbage can. So you can use them just to put in the toilet. So we took a lot of our delays coming here were our maintenance people in Winnipeg trying to pull flushable wipes out of these things. We had a couple pipes burst, and people ended up having to move out of the car because the toilets didn't work, and they ended up in accommodations we didn't want. There was nothing available. So if you can avoid it, use the wipes. Just put them in the garbage can, and we'll get rid of them for you. Any questions? There's lots to see today. I do a couple talks up here. I'll do trivia up here later. Like I said, the whiteboard has got a list of activities going on today. Not all of it is accurate to the minute, like the train. But I do my best to try to get up here. So for now, enjoy the views, and if you need anything around, coffee's fresh, but it looks like everyone's okay for now. If something is out, let me know. I do have full bar service in this car as well, from 11 to 11 every day. Downstairs in my little cubby holder, you can't miss it. The dome at the back also has bar service as well. I call myself the dive bar. That's the nice one. It's beautiful back there. I'm not saying don't get your drinks here. They have a few different drinks that I don't have back there. Usually when people go back there, I don't see them for the rest of the trip. And I totally understand. It's not me. That's much nicer back there. But I'm around if you need anything. Enjoy the views of Toronto. This will be it for dry ground today. Once we get about an hour out of here, it's a frozen wasteland. They've had 5 days of straight snow. I saw more snow going through between Parry Sound and Capreol yesterday. Usually you don't see that until January, February, and it's already piled up. And there's another storm hitting. They're going to beat us to the airport. There's another storm hitting Winnipeg right now, so it's Winter Wonderland. It's beautiful. But it's so nice.
Yeah.
The good thing about I'm going to tell you guys a couple things about this trip. One, you're doing it in the proper direction.
Yeah.
I always tell people that west is best on this train, because the second we left Toronto, you're automatically 4 hours early because we have a time change almost every day. So right now we're early.
Nice.
Also, the way they've got it planned is that if you do this trip both ways, you're going to kind of see different things both ways. The good stuff is this way, in my opinion. If people want to look at rocks all day, you want to go the other way. But tonight, with all the snow around, even the sun will be gone by 5 o'clock, I would think, by the time we get to Capreol. But with the lights out in your room and those blinds open with the snow reflecting off any sort of light, it's like daylight outside. So any wildlife that is there, you can and will see for sure. We had moose on the way in. We had wolves, coyotes, fox. I had a lady say she saw a house cat. Probably not very high on the food chain. I don't think it was That's probably a fox. But yeah. All right, enjoy. If you need anything, I'm around. Yeah. That tray's not going to empty itself, so if you want more, feel free to help yourself.
Soon, we leave Toronto skyline, making our way into the suburbs and the industrial areas. Sitting up in the dome car, you can truly appreciate almost the entirety of the train, snaking its way through Toronto's busy rail corridor. Not long after, the Canadian briefly reverses as it transfers from the Barrie GO line onto the Richmond Hill GO line. It's an unusual movement if you're not expecting it, but it's necessary to align the train onto the correct route out west. About an hour after departure, we head down to the activity car. This car becomes one of the social centers on board the Canadian, hosting talks, games, films, and casual conversations throughout the journey. It also holds a few historical mementos on display, showing the evolution of the Canadian over time. The car also has its own self-service cafe, with tea and coffee accompanied with snacks available throughout the journey. We then make our way to the dining car for lunch. The dining car is in a traditional layout, tables of 4, white tablecloths, and a full table service. 3-course meals are included for all sleeper class passengers and are served at a relaxed pace in 2 or 3 sittings. For today's lunch, the soup of the day is a cream of mushroom, accompanied with some crackers. For the mains, we chose the mushroom meze flatbread and the spicy chicken sandwich. We are stopped outside Washego Station while dessert is served. For dessert, however, the choice was between a chocolate brownie or an ice cream. We decided not to choose and requested both instead. Following our delicious lunch, we make our way to the Bullet Lounge at the end of the train in the park car. During peak season, this space is usually reserved exclusively for prestige class passengers during the daytime. But outside that period, it's accessible to sleeper class passengers as well. It's one of the most pleasant spaces on the train. Comfortable seating, wraparound views, and a quieter and more intimate atmosphere. We head up to the dome of the park car and have a cold glass of eggnog and simply watch the scenery go by. While we are stopped to let a CN freight train pass by, we watch a film about the Canadian and the activity car. I think that's a fitting way to pass the time. We notice the landscape changing, gradually shifting. Fewer signs of urban life, more water. Well, definitely covered in ice and a blanket of snow. Along with forests and more exposed rocks. Throughout our journey across this country, we are stopped to allow several freight trains go by. This is very much a part of the norm while traveling by rail in Canada, as freight traffic takes priority on much of the network. Passenger trains like the Canadian often have to wait. Personally, I don't really mind this at all, as this gives us a moment to reflect and admire the wonderful scenery that Canada has to offer. As the afternoon wears on, we return to the parked car. Our train continues to zoom by, and soon we start approaching Parry Sound. The train is too long to fit onto the platform. Luckily, we were here in summer and had the opportunity to film the Canadian enter Parry Sound Station. We depart Parry Sound quietly, without much ceremony. From here on, the journey begins to feel distinctly northern, with southern Ontario now firmly behind us. The scenery starts to become fairly consistent. Forests, lakes, rock cuts, repeating just enough to be calming without becoming monotonous. This is the Canadian Shield. Ancient rock, thin soil, and forests that seem to grow wherever they can. As evening approaches, the light begins to change. The forest darkens, reflections appear in the window, and the interior of the train takes on a warmer tone. First call for dinner is at 5 o'clock. The atmosphere is mostly relaxed. By now, most passengers have settled into a rhythm of the journey. For dinner, we start with the soup of the day, which is a tomato vegetable broth soup. For our main course, we went with the beef tenderloin, accompanied with baby potatoes and vegetables, along with a leek-crusted chicken and wildlife pilaf. Dinner coincides with our arrival and departure from Sudbury Station. A few of the passengers had to have a very quick dinner and definitely skip dessert to disembark the train on time. For dessert, we decided to have a triple chocolate cake and a carrot cheesecake. Delicious, I tell you. Following dinner, our train finally arrives at Capreol. With our bellies now full, we decided to brace the cold and head on out for a light stroll. The stop at Capreol was originally scheduled to be for an hour. However, seeing as we are already an hour behind schedule, the stop is reduced to only around 15 minutes. That is, isn't it? The air is colder here and noticeably quieter. There's very little around the station itself, just the train, the platform lights, and a sense that we are now far away from urban centers. We We see the small town of Capreol lit by the streetlights, with not a single soul in sight. The abundant snow and the frigid cold temperatures make each footstep sound like crunching ice or gritty sand. As we walk towards the back of the train, we can see the dining car staff working tirelessly, preparing for the next service. We notice a large mural depicting Capreol and its founding. It stands as a reminder that the railway played a vital role in the creation of this town. Since this is an active CN freight rail yard, we are not allowed to venture off too far. The station itself is very plain and simple, containing nothing more than the bare necessities required for a station to be functional. The station has a single ticket office and 2 toilets. Walking through the station doors, we are greeted by the absolute vastness and nothingness of Northern Ontario. This is truly beautiful and very peaceful. As we get back to our cabin, we find that our beds have already been made. The top bunk is slightly narrower than the bottom one, but it's still quite spacious. Both levels have reading lights and storage pockets. Our porter has been kind enough and has left us Via Rail branded chocolates, a small but a thoughtful touch to end the day. I really hope you enjoyed joining us on day 1 of our journey. I'll see you again on day 2 as we continue through Northern Ontario and reach Winnipeg, Manitoba by nightfall. Bye!